At 2025, the children of Steve Jobs are stepping into the shadows of a tech empire that changed the world. But who will truly inherit the Apple legacy? With billions, innovation, and a global spotlight at stake, their private lives have remained almost completely secret. Until now. From surprising career choices to unexpected personal paths, the Jobs kids are carving their own identities. Are they ready to carry the weight of one of the world's most iconic legacies? Let's dive in and find out. Lisa Brennan Jobs. Lisa Brennan Jobs was kid of Chris Ann Brennan and Steve Jobs, two young adults navigating the volatile world of love, ambition, and personal identity. At the time, both were just 23 years old. Their paths had first crossed in 1972, when Jobs was a 17-year-old high school student with a precocious intellect and an emerging fascination with electronics and countercultural ideas. Their relationship was intermittent, marked by periods of closeness and extended separations, reflecting the instability and unconventional nature of Jobs' early life. By the time Lisa was conceived, the two had experienced multiple cycles of connection and estrangement, leaving the young couple unprepared for the responsibilities of parenthood. From the very beginning, Lisa's arrival was met with ambivalence from Jobs. According to Lisa's 2018 memoir, Small Fry, Jobs' initial reaction to her birth was one of denial. He arrived days after she was born and reportedly said, "It's not my kid," leaving Chris Ann to confront the challenges of motherhood largely on her own. The situation escalated into legal disputes, during which Jobs claimed in court papers that he was sterile and infertile, and as a result thereof, did not have the physical capacity to procreate a child. For young Lisa, these early years were defined by her father's absence, both emotional and financial, and by her mother's extraordinary efforts to provide stability under difficult circumstances. Chris Ann Brennan, grappling with the demands of single parenthood in the late 1970s, worked multiple jobs while also relying on public assistance to support herself and her infant daughter. In Small Fry, Lisa reflects on those early years with a mixture of resentment and understanding, acknowledging the resilience her mother demonstrated while also contending with the emotional void left by her father. "My father didn't help," she wrote, emphasizing the sense of abandonment she experienced, which left an indelible mark on her perception of family and parental responsibility. Her mother's perseverance during this period created a framework of survival and resourcefulness that would shape Lisa's formative years, even as the absence of paternal support left lingering emotional scars. The dispute over paternity continued for several years, capturing the tension between Jobs' rising professional life and the responsibilities of fatherhood. Jobs, who co-founded Apple in 1976, was rapidly building a company that would come to define modern technology, yet his personal life was fraught with contradictions. While he was celebrated for his vision and ambition, his behavior as a father during this period reflected a detachment from domestic obligations. The breakthrough came in 1980, when a court-ordered DNA test confirmed Jobs' paternity. This scientific proof forced him to confront legal responsibilities, and the court subsequently required minimal child support payments and mandated coverage of Lisa's medical expenses until she reached the age of 18. While these measures offered some practical support, they did little to repair the complex emotional dynamics between father and daughter. Despite the legal recognition, Lisa's early relationship with Jobs remained fraught with ambivalence. In Small Fry, she recounts moments of tentative connection interspersed with periods of neglect and rejection. Jobs' complicated personality, brilliant, exacting, and often emotionally distant, shaped the contours of Lisa's early life. Nevertheless, her mother's unwavering dedication ensured that Lisa had the stability and care necessary to grow, even in the face of her father's absence. The early years of Lisa Brennan Jobs' life thus stand as a testament both to her mother's resilience and to the complicated legacy of a father whose genius in technology contrasted sharply with his shortcomings as a parent. Lisa Brennan Jobs, now 47, has built a life that reflects both resilience and creative ambition, emerging from the complex legacy of being the daughter of one of the most influential figures in modern technology. Following in her own path, she pursued rigorous academics and intellectual exploration, attending Harvard University, one of the world's premier institutions. Her academic journey was complemented by an enriching year abroad at King's College in London, an experience that broadened her perspectives and allowed her to engage with global ideas and cultural immersion. These formative years helped shape her identity, providing a foundation for the career she would later pursue in writing and journalism. After graduating from Harvard in 2000, Lisa moved to Manhattan, immersing herself in the vibrant literary and cultural life of the city. Determined to forge her own path, she cultivated a career as a writer, contributing to respected publications such as Vogue, the Massachusetts Review, and the Oprah magazine. Her work reflects both literary sophistication and a keen eye for storytelling, allowing her to establish her voice independently of her father's towering legacy. In her personal life, Lisa shares a son with her husband, Bill, a software designer. Their family life, while private, provides a sense of grounding and continuity, illustrating Lisa's ability to create a stable and nurturing environment despite the challenges of her early childhood. The relationship between Lisa and her father, Steve Jobs, remained complex throughout her life. Jobs' public acknowledgement of past mistakes, including his handling of Lisa's birth, offers a rare glimpse into his personal regrets. In 2011, while promoting Walter Isaacson's authorized biography of the Apple founder, Jobs candidly reflected on his youth, stating, "I've done a lot of things I'm not proud of, such as getting my girlfriend pregnant when I was 23 and the way I handled that." These remarks reveal a man aware of his shortcomings and struggling with the consequences of his actions, particularly in the realm of fatherhood. Though Jobs achieved monumental success in technology, his personal life was often fraught with tension and the challenge of balancing genius with human fallibility. However, Lisa's memoir, Small Fry, which detailed her experiences growing up with a father who was often emotionally distant, sparked disagreement among other members of the Jobs family. Steve's widow, Laureen Powell Jobs, along with his 3 children and his sister Mona Simpson, issued a statement to the New York Times addressing the memoir's portrayal of the Apple founder. "Lisa is part of our family, so it was with sadness that we read her book, which differs dramatically from our memories of those times," the statement read. "The portrayal of Steve is not the husband and father we knew. Steve loved Lisa and regretted that he was not the father he should have been during her early childhood. It was a great comfort to Steve to have Lisa home with all of us during the last days of his life, and we are all grateful for the years we spent together as a family." Reed Jobs. After Steve Jobs married Laureen Powell in March 1991, their family quickly grew with the birth of their first child, Reed Jobs, on September 22, 1991. From the very beginning, Reed's upbringing was shaped by a unique blend of intellectual rigor, entrepreneurial vision, and a household immersed in both technology and philanthropy. Laureen Powell Jobs, an accomplished entrepreneur and philanthropist, cultivated an environment that emphasized education, social responsibility, and curiosity about the world. Reed's early years were marked by exposure to these ideals alongside the private, demanding legacy of his father, whose legendary work ethic and innovative mind loomed large over the family home. Reed's academic trajectory reflected the dual influence of his parents, a drive toward intellectual excellence combined with a deep interest in understanding social structures and global systems. After completing high school, he matriculated at Stanford University, a choice that echoed his father's own deep engagement with innovation and learning, though in a more academic and global context. At Stanford, Reed pursued a degree in history and international security, graduating with honors in 2014. His undergraduate work was notable not only for academic rigor, but also for a focus on complex social and political frameworks, preparing him to engage with pressing global challenges. Reed continued at Stanford for graduate studies, earning a master's degree in history the following year. These accomplishments reflected both discipline and curiosity, setting the stage for a career that would merge intellectual inquiry with social impact. In September 2015, Reed assumed a key leadership role as the managing director of Emerson Collective, the organization founded by his mother, Laureen, in 2004. Emerson Collective operates at the intersection of philanthropy, investment, and social innovation, addressing critical issues ranging from immigration reform to environmental sustainability. Under Reed's stewardship, the organization has maintained its broad mission, but has allowed him to carve out a specialized niche within the healthcare sector. His work focuses particularly on accelerating the development of therapeutic options for cancer patients, a field that requires both scientific insight and strategic investment to effect meaningful change. Reed has described his approach to healthcare innovation as intentionally multifaceted. While most other players in this space focus on philanthropy or investment, we're able to do both, he explains in a Q&A featured on Emerson Collective's website. This dual focus allows his team to identify promising medical research and provide the resources necessary to translate discoveries into tangible treatments. The organization's core goal, as Reed frames it, is to develop new therapeutic options for cancer patients, leveraging Emerson Collective's unique-to-blend funding, advocacy, and technical support. This strategic approach illustrates Reed's capacity to navigate complex systems, combining intellectual insight with practical action to affect real-world outcomes. Beyond his professional endeavors, Reed's life has been shaped by the influence of both parents, who instilled a sense of responsibility alongside ambition. Laureen Powell. Jobs' vision for Emerson Collective provided a model of socially conscious entrepreneurship, emphasizing the importance of using resources and influence to address systemic issues. At the same time, growing up as the son of Steve Jobs exposed Reed to the high standards, creativity, and relentless pursuit of excellence that characterized one of the most famous innovators in history. While Reed has largely remained out of the public eye compared to the global fame of his father, his achievements reflect a conscious effort to combine the best of both worlds: the intellect and curiosity nurtured by his academic training, and the ambition, strategic thinking, and sense of purpose inherited from his family. Reed's focus on healthcare innovation positions him within a particularly consequential sector of global impact. By concentrating on the development of new therapies for cancer patients, he aligns personal ambition with societal benefit, exemplifying a modern approach to leadership that blends philanthropy with measurable outcomes. His work illustrates the importance of vision, collaboration, and persistence in tackling complex challenges, particularly in fields where scientific research and patient needs intersect. This approach resonates with Emerson Collective's broader philosophy that meaningful change requires a combination of insight, capital, and actionable strategy. In addition to his professional role, Reed has become a bridge between the legacy of his father and the evolving vision of his mother's initiatives. While Steve Jobs' contributions to technology and global culture are universally recognized, Reed represents a continuation of the family's commitment to innovation, albeit in the realm of social impact rather than consumer electronics. By channeling his skills and education into the healthcare space, he honors the broader values of responsibility and problem-solving emphasized within his family, translating privilege and opportunity into tangible benefits for society. Aaron Sienna Jobs, 30, born on August 19, 1995. Aaron Sienna Jobs is the most private of Steve Jobs' children, a distinction that has shaped both her personal life and public perception. From the outset, Aaron was described as possessing a quiet and introspective nature. a sensitivity that, according to Walter Isaacson's 2011 authorized biography Steve Jobs, surpassed even that of her father. Isaacson wrote that Erin demonstrated a personal sensitivity more mature than her father's, a characterization that highlights the thoughtfulness and emotional acuity she displayed even as a child growing up in a household defined by high expectations and extraordinary achievements. While Steve Jobs was renowned for his visionary work at Apple, Erin's personality suggests a contemplative approach to the world, one marked by careful observation, deep reflection, and a calm steadiness that contrasts with her father's intensity. Erin's perspective on her father, as recorded in Isaacson's biography, offers insight into the complexities of growing up as the child of one of the most famous and demanding innovators of the modern era. She acknowledged the unique challenges her father faced in balancing the dual roles of parent and CEO. He does his best to be both a father and the CEO of Apple, and he juggles those pretty well, she told Isaacson. Erin's words convey both understanding and empathy for her father's obligations, as well as a remarkable level of maturity for a young person navigating the pressures of familial expectations and public scrutiny. She added, "Sometimes I wish I had more of his attention, but I know the work he's doing is very important and I think it's really cool, so I'm fine. I don't really need more attention." This statement reflects not only her self-reliance, but also an early acceptance of the sacrifices inherent in being the child of someone whose global influence and professional drive demanded so much of his time. Despite her connection to one of the world's most high-profile figures, Erin has consistently maintained a low public profile. Unlike some of her siblings who occasionally engage with the media or maintain a presence on social media, Erin has no known active online platforms, choosing instead to preserve her privacy and navigate life outside the public eye. This preference for discretion underscores her introspective character and desire for a life defined on her own terms, away from the constant scrutiny that accompanies the Jobs family name. Her ability to maintain this private space is a testament to both her personal boundaries and her maturity, allowing her to cultivate experiences and relationships unmediated by public attention. Within her family, Erin shares a close bond with her younger sister, Eve Jobs, a connection that is both affectionate and publicly acknowledged on rare occasions. For instance, in 2021, Eve posted a heartfelt tribute to Erin on her 26th birthday, sharing a throwback photo of the sisters smiling together on a boat. "To my lifelong best friend, happy birthday. I love you. I love you. I love you," Eve wrote. This simple yet evocative message reveals the depth of their sibling relationship, highlighting Erin's role not only as a private individual, but also as a cherished and supportive presence within her immediate family. It offers a glimpse into her life that balances intimacy and discretion, suggesting that while Erin shuns public attention, she nurtures meaningful personal connections with those closest to her. Growing up in the Jobs household, Erin witnessed firsthand the complexities of her father's dual identity as a parent and a tech visionary. The environment she experienced combined intellectual rigor, creativity, and occasional intensity, requiring a level of emotional resilience from each child. Erin's introspective disposition allowed her to process this environment thoughtfully, maintaining her individuality while absorbing lessons from her father's work ethic, ambition, and relentless pursuit of excellence. Her approach to family life, characterized by empathy, understanding, and a quiet strength, appears to be both a response to and a complement of her father's personality, balancing his intensity with her own calm reflection. Eve Jobs. Eve Jobs is the youngest of Steve Jobs' 4 children and has cultivated a distinct identity that reflects both her family legacy and her own ambitions. From an early age, Eve demonstrated a remarkable combination of focus, discipline, and creativity, traits that have served her well in her pursuits both in and beyond the public eye. Growing up as the youngest member of a high-profile family, Eve balanced the expectations that came with her father's monumental influence with her own personal interests, forging a path defined by excellence, individuality, and a quiet determination to succeed. Academically, Eve followed in the intellectual footsteps of her older siblings, attending Stanford University, one of the world's leading institutions, where she further honed her talents and broadened her worldview. At Stanford, she cultivated both her academic abilities and her extracurricular interests, demonstrating a capacity for both rigorous scholarship and high-level performance in her chosen passions. However, it is in the equestrian world that Eve first made a significant public mark. A highly accomplished rider, she has competed at the top levels of show jumping and has earned international recognition for her skills. In 2019, at just 21 years old, she was ranked number 5 on the list of the top 1,000 riders under 25 around the world by Horse Sport, an acknowledgement of her talent, precision, and commitment to a demanding sport. Her accomplishments in equestrianism highlight her discipline, resilience, and ability to excel under pressure, qualities reminiscent of her father's legendary work ethic, though applied in a very different arena. Eve's success in the equestrian world set the stage for her to explore other high-profile pursuits, including modeling and fashion. In December 2020, she made her professional modeling debut in Glossier's holiday ad campaign, appearing alongside notable figures such as Euphoria star Sydney Sweeney and RuPaul's Drag Race runner-up Naomi Smalls. This debut demonstrated not only her photogenic presence, but also her capacity to navigate new industries with poise and professionalism. Eve quickly transitioned into high fashion, making her Paris Fashion Week debut in September 2021. Within months, she signed with DNA Model Management, a prestigious agency that represents some of the most prominent faces in the industry, including Kaya Gerber and Emily Ratajkowski. Her appearances on international runways and in top-tier campaigns reflected both her modeling talent and her ability to leverage her personal style, grace, and charisma in a highly competitive industry. In 2022, she attended the Met Gala, one of the fashion world's most prominent events, dressed in Louis Vuitton, further cementing her status as a rising star in modeling. Despite her growing public profile in modeling, Eve has maintained a grounded perspective on the technology and culture her father helped shape. She has displayed a playful, lighthearted engagement with Apple and the tech world. For instance, in September 2022, following the announcement of the iPhone 14 models, Eve shared a humorous meme on her Instagram story, poking fun at the annual product launch. The meme, originally from Wall Street Memes, featured a photo of an older man holding up a new button-down shirt that was almost identical to the one he already wore, with the caption, "Me upgrading from iPhone 13 to iPhone 14 after Apple's announcement today." This post illustrated her ability to balance reverence for her father's legacy with a sense of humor and individuality, connecting with younger audiences while subtly acknowledging the cultural phenomenon surrounding Apple products. While Eve has been careful to preserve her privacy, particularly in her personal life, she has occasionally shared glimpses of her relationships and milestones. She publicly debuted her romantic relationship with British Olympian Harry Charles at the 2024 Paris Olympics, revealing a connection built on shared interests, athletic discipline, and international experience. In June 2025, Eve offered fans a peek at her bachelorette celebration, sharing moments from a vacation with close friends on Instagram. These glimpses, while selective, offer a sense of her approach to life. Private, yet celebratory. Meaningful, yet shared with loved ones. Eve and Harry's relationship culminated in their wedding on July 26, 2025, in the picturesque Cotswolds region of England. The celebration, covered by The Times, was a blend of elegance, joy, and star-studded moments, reflecting both the couple's high-profile connections and their personal tastes. The legendary Elton John performed at the newlyweds' reception, adding an iconic touch to an already memorable occasion. The wedding underscored Eve's balance of private life with public recognition, as she celebrated personal milestones while maintaining a composed and stylish presence in the public eye. Eve Jobs' life trajectory demonstrates an impressive blend of discipline, talent, and individuality. She has achieved success in highly demanding arenas, from the competitive world of equestrian sports to the glamorous yet exacting sphere of modeling, all while preserving her privacy and personal integrity. Her ability to navigate these worlds with confidence and grace suggests a person capable of balancing public recognition with personal boundaries, ambition with humility, and legacy with self-determination. As the youngest child of Steve Jobs, Eve carries forward the family legacy in her own unique way. She has carved a space for herself that honors her father's influence while reflecting her personal passions and talents. Whether excelling as a world-class equestrian, appearing on international fashion runways, or sharing moments of levity and humor related to her father's technological achievements, Eve embodies a modern blend of legacy, talent, and individuality. Her careful navigation of public and private life suggests that she is building a life defined not merely by her family name, but by her own achievements, values, and aspirations. What do you think about Steve Jobs' children? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.